There is something I want to share with you today that might make you a little uncomfortable at first, but I promise you, if you truly understand and apply what I'm about to say, it will change not just how you interact with the world, but how you protect your own peace, your own energy, and your own journey. We live in a time where sharing has become almost automatic. We share our thoughts on social media. We share our plans with everyone we meet. We share our struggles, our victories, our dreams, our disappointments. We've been conditioned to believe that sharing is caring, that openness is always good, that transparency is the highest virtue. But what if I told you that there are certain things, certain sacred aspects of your life that should never be shared publicly, that should be protected like precious treasures, guarded carefully, kept private, not because you're being secretive or dishonest, but because some things lose their power, their purity, their magic when exposed to the world too soon or too carelessly. Let me start with the first thing you must keep private, and this might surprise some of you. Your next move, your plans, your goals, the steps you're about to take toward your dreams. Now, I'm not saying you should never share your aspirations with anyone. What I'm saying is be extremely careful and selective about who you tell and when you tell them. Because here's what happens. When you share your plans too early, when you announce to everyone what you're going to do before you've actually done anything, several things happen and none of them are good for you. First, you get a premature sense of accomplishment. Your brain releases dopamine when people respond positively to your announcement. You feel good, you feel validated, you feel like you've already achieved something, when in reality, you've only talked about it. This premature satisfaction actually reduces your motivation to do the actual work. Second, and this is crucial, you invite opinions, judgments, doubts, and negativity into your sacred space. The moment you share your dream with 10 people, you're likely to get 10 different reactions. Some will be supportive, but some will be skeptical. Some will project their own fears and limitations onto you. Some will subtly or not so subtly try to discourage you, not necessarily because they're bad people, but because your dream triggers something uncomfortable in them, perhaps their own unfulfilled dreams, their own fears, their own sense of what's possible. And all of this external noise, all these opinions and reactions, they get inside your head. They create doubt where there was confidence. They create hesitation where there was momentum. Think about a seed for a moment. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to show people how it's growing. You don't invite the entire neighborhood to come and examine it, to give their opinions on whether it will grow or not. You protect it. You water it. You give it time in the darkness of the soil to develop roots, to gather strength. And only when it has pushed through the surface, only when it has become strong enough to withstand the elements, only then does it reveal itself to the world. Your dreams, your plans, your next moves should be treated the same way. Give them time to develop roots in the privacy of your own commitment, your own work, your own consistency. Let them grow strong in silence. And when they finally manifest, when you've actually accomplished something real, then you can share. Then you can celebrate, but not before. Work in silence. Let your success make the noise. The second thing you must keep private is your personal life, especially the intimate details of your relationships. In this age of social media, people share everything. They share their arguments with their partners. They share their frustrations with their families. They share every up and down of their romantic relationships, as if the whole world needs to be updated constantly. But here's what you need to understand. Every time You expose the private details of your relationship to public scrutiny. You're inviting other people into something that should be sacred between two people. Your relationship is not a reality show. Your love life is not entertainment for others. And more importantly, when you share your relationship problems publicly, you're creating a permanent record of temporary emotions. You might be angry with your partner today and post something negative about them. Tomorrow you might resolve the issue and be perfectly fine. But the damage is done. The people who saw your post, they remember, they formed opinions. They've judged your partner based on your moment of frustration. And even if you move on, they don't. They carry that narrative. And over time, this erodes the foundation of your relationship because you've allowed too many voices, too many perspectives, too many judgments into your private space. Keep the beautiful moments private too. I know this sounds counterintuitive in a world where people post every romantic gesture, every special moment, every milestone, but there's something deeply sacred about experiences that are kept just between you and your partner. When you share every special moment publicly, you're performing your relationship rather than living it. You're more concerned with how it looks than how it feels. You're seeking validation from others rather than finding fulfillment in the connection itself. The most beautiful, most meaningful relationships I've observed in my life are the ones that are lived quietly, privately, between two people who don't need the world to witness their love to know it's real. Protect your relationship. Guard its privacy. Some magic only exists in the space between two people. And the moment you expose it to the masses, you diminish its power. The third thing you must keep private, and this is something many people struggle with, is your good deeds. When you help someone, when you donate to a cause, when you do something kind or generous, keep it to yourself. Don't post about it. Don't announce it. Don't seek recognition for it. And I know what you're thinking. But what if my sharing inspires others to do good too? What if my example encourages more generosity? And while that sounds noble, let me ask you this. Is that really why you're sharing? Or is there a part of you? Be honest now that wants the praise, the acknowledgement, the validation. Because here's the truth. When you do good and immediately share it publicly, you've already received your reward in the form of likes, comments, and admiration. But when you do good in private, when no one knows except you and the person you help, the reward is internal. It builds character. It builds genuine humility. It strengthens your relationship with yourself and with a higher purpose. There's a beautiful teaching that says the right hand should not know what the left hand is doing when you give. That's how private your generosity should be. Because true generosity doesn't seek applause. True kindness doesn't need an audience. True goodness is its own reward. And there's another reason to keep your good deeds private. When you constantly announce your charitable acts, people start to question your motives. They start to wonder if you're doing good things to help others or to boost your own image. Your genuine acts of kindness get tainted by the perception of self-promotion. But when you help quietly, when you give without announcement, when you serve without seeking credit, your impact is pure. Your intentions remain clear. And the people you help feel truly seen and cared for, not like props in your public image campaign. So do good, absolutely do good, do as much good as you possibly can, but do it quietly. Let your character speak for itself. Let your impact be felt, not announced. The fourth thing you must keep private is your income and your wealth. Money is one of those topics that brings out complex emotions in people. When you share how much you earn, how much you have, what you can afford, you create several problems. If you share with people who have less than you risk creating envy, resentment, or a sense of inadequacy in them. If you share with people who have more than you You risk creating a sense of superiority in them or judgment about your financial choices. Either way, you're opening a door that's better left closed. Your financial situation is no one's business but yours and perhaps your immediate family's. When you keep your finances private, you protect yourself from several things. You protect yourself from people who might try to take advantage of you. You protect yourself from people who might judge your spending habits. You protect yourself from creating distance in friendships where money becomes a focus rather than the genuine connection. There's also something very important about how we relate to money internally. When you constantly talk about your wealth or lack of it, you're making money a central part of your identity, but you are not your bank account. Your worth as a human being has nothing to do with your net worth, and when you keep your finances private, you remind yourself and demonstrate to others that there are far more important things to discuss, to focus on, to value: your character, your wisdom, your kindness, your growth. These are the things that define you, not the numbers in your account. So whether you're struggling financially or thriving, keep it private. Handle your money with wisdom and discretion, and don't make it a topic of public conversation. The fifth thing you must keep private, and this one is crucial, is your family problems. Every family has issues. Every family goes through conflicts, misunderstandings, difficult phases. This is normal. This is part of being human and being in relationship with other humans. But the way you handle these problems determines whether they get resolved or whether they escalate and create permanent damage. When you air your family's problems publicly, when you complain about your parents to your friends, when you post about your sibling conflicts on social media, when you expose your family's private struggles to outsiders, you're doing something deeply harmful. You're betraying the trust of the people who are supposed to be your closest circle. You're inviting outsiders to form judgments about your family members based on incomplete, biased information. You're creating a narrative that might not reflect the full truth or the complexity of the situation. And most importantly, you're making resolution harder, because now there are other voices, other opinions, other judgments mixed into what should be a private family matter. Family conflicts should be resolved within the family. If you need help, seek it from a professional counselor or therapist who can provide objective guidance while maintaining confidentiality. But don't turn your family's private struggles into public entertainment or venting sessions with your friends. Because here's what happens. You might fight with your mother today and complain about her to 10 people. Tomorrow you and your mother might reconcile and be perfectly fine. But those 10 people, they remember what you said. They formed negative opinions about your mother. And even though you've moved on, they haven't. And this creates an awkward dynamic where the people in your life have negative views about your family members based on information you shared in a moment of frustration. Protect your family's privacy. Handle conflicts with maturity and discretion. Don't sacrifice your family's dignity for temporary emotional relief. Some things are sacred, and family is one of them. And the sixth thing you must keep private is your spiritual practice or personal belief system. Now, I'm not saying you should hide your faith or be ashamed of your beliefs. What I'm saying is that your personal spiritual journey, your prayers, your meditation practice, your relationship with the divine, these are deeply intimate aspects of your life that don't need to be performed publicly. When you constantly post about your spiritual practices, when you announce every time you pray or meditate, when you share every spiritual insight you have, several things happen. First, you risk becoming spiritually proud, which is perhaps the most subtle and dangerous form of pride. You start to see yourself as more evolved, more conscious, more spiritual than others. And this attitude is the opposite of genuine spirituality. Second, you invite judgment and skepticism. People start to watch you more carefully to see if your actions match your stated beliefs. And since none of us are perfect, you inevitably give people reasons to point out your hypocrisy or inconsistency. Third, and most importantly, you start performing spirituality rather than living it. You become more concerned with appearing spiritual than actually growing spiritual. True spiritual growth happens in the quiet moments when no one is watching. It happens in the consistency of your private practice, in the integrity of your actions when there's no audience, in the genuine transformation of your character over time. When you keep your spiritual practice private, it remains pure. It remains between you and the divine, between you and your own deepest truth. You're not doing it for likes or approval or recognition. You're doing it because it genuinely transforms you from the inside out. And that transformation, when it's real, becomes visible in how you live, how you treat people, how you respond to challenges, how you carry yourself through life. You don't need to announce your spirituality. If it's real, it shapes. Your peace shows, your kindness shows, your wisdom shows, your presence shows. Let your life be your message. Let your character be your testimony. Keep your prayers private, your spiritual struggles private, your journey private, and let the fruits of that journey speak for themselves. Now, I want to be very clear about something. Keeping these 6 things private doesn't mean you're being secretive or dishonest or closed off. It means you're being wise. It means you're protecting what's sacred. It means you understand that not everything needs to be shared, that privacy is not the same as secrecy, that discretion is a form of self-respect and respect for others. In a world that encourages constant sharing, constant exposure, constant performance of every aspect of our lives, choosing privacy is actually a radical act of wisdom and self-protection. Think about it this way. In ancient times, the most valuable treasures were kept in vaults, protected, guarded, hidden from public view. Not because there was anything wrong with them, but precisely because they were so valuable. Your dreams are valuable. Your relationships are valuable. Your good deeds are valuable. Your financial peace is valuable. Your family is valuable. Your spiritual journey is valuable. Treat them accordingly. Guard them. Protect them. Keep them private, not because you're ashamed, but because you're wise enough to know that some things lose their power when exposed too carelessly. There's also something beautiful that happens when you practice this kind of discretion. You become more internally focused rather than externally focused. You stop seeking validation from others because you're no longer constantly sharing everything for their approval. You develop a stronger sense of self because your identity is no longer dependent on how others perceive and respond to what you share. You build genuine confidence because your accomplishments, your growth, your transformation happen the relationships you want to heal quietly within you before they're ever displayed to the world. You become like that deep river we talked about earlier, running quietly but powerfully, not needing to make noise to prove its strength. And here's something else that happens. When you keep these 6 things private, the people in your life start to respect you more, not less, more. Because mystery is attractive, discretion is attractive, self-control is attractive. People respect those who don't feel the need to share everything, who have boundaries, who protect what's sacred to them. When you're not constantly oversharing, the things you do choose to share carry more weight, more meaning, more impact. Your words matter more because they're not diluted by constant unnecessary sharing. I also want to address something important. Some of you might be thinking, but I have a small circle of trusted friends or family with whom I share these things, and that's different. Absolutely. Having a small, trusted circle of people with whom you can be completely honest, with whom you can share your struggles, your dreams, your journey, that's not only okay, that's essential. We all need people we can trust, people who support us, people who genuinely care about our being. The key word here is small and trusted. Not everyone needs to know everything. Not everyone has earned the right to be inside your private circle. Be selective. Be discerning. Share deeply with a few, superficially with the many. And finally, I want to say this. Practicing privacy in these 6 areas doesn't mean you become cold or distant or disconnected. It means you become more intentional about what you share and with whom. It means you create healthy boundaries. It means you protect your energy, your peace, your trajectory. And all of this makes you more available for genuine connection, more present in your relationships, more focused on your growth, more effective in your journey. So today, right now, I want you to think about these 6 things: your next move, your personal life and relationships, your good deeds, your income, your family problems, your spiritual practice. Look at your recent behavior, your social media activity, your conversations. Have you been protecting these areas, or have you been exposing them carelessly? If you've been oversharing, that's okay. There's no judgment here. But moving forward, make a conscious decision to guard what's sacred. Keep these 6 things private. Protect your peace. Protect your energy. Protect your journey. Work in silence. Love in privacy. Give without announcement. Handle your finances with discretion. Resolve family matters with maturity. Grow spiritually in the quiet and watch how your life transforms when you stop performing it and start truly living